Keep men sexually aroused and you can control the whole culture. That's not just a theory, it's the silent strategy shaping everything around us. Dr. Harvey breaks down the forgotten power of male sexuality, why the male body was designed for creation and not consumption, and how separating sex from purpose has left men weakened, distracted, and easy to manipulate. This is not about shame, it's about clarity. And this is just a shortcut from the full conversation. Watch the full episode and go deeper.
I find it quite fascinating that the penis we don't speak very much about because it's kind of huddled in tones which are more sort of furtive and forbidden areas. Quite obviously because men's sexual function depends on penile response. A man walking around without an erection, with testicles, just doing what he's doing, is not necessarily going to be any threat to anybody. But a man with an erection clearly will show to other members around that he is aroused and wishes to procreate. That's the message that comes. Now that's not true necessarily, but that's a message that comes. So it is interesting biblically that God would call men under his covenant to wear a badge of his covenant with him on the penis, to take away a small piece of skin that's not necessary for reproduction. He can still procreate, but he has to handle it every single day to avoid and is aware that by self-stimulation that he can obtain an erection. Who cares? Well, it's a brilliant design, as every man will happily testify. Me too. I've got 3 kids.
Amen.
Love my wife. She's really wonderful and a great advert for very healthy sexual life, myself and my wife. So we love it. So this is the context
Hallelujah.
in which I'm 68. So still going. This is great.
Go Harvey.
And I often say to Kath, it's better than before, and I always thought before I was going to get married that it's basically you start with getting married and then it'll go downhill from there. But that's not the case. So the whole theology of sexual function is so sacred that it is encased culturally in expectations of society for a couple to come together because of the fruits of sexual function are new children. And they need to be reared, they need to be looked after, they need to be grown into the future of the culture, of that society, of all men, of all cultures, every single one. If we other people and just say, well, not them, not us, just us, then we deny the human being status. There's only one race in this world. There's only one. It's called the human race. So racism shouldn't actually technically exist. But he's couched the sexual function with laws and with expectations that will provide for optimal functioning. And if we stray outside those boundaries, we will produce pathology in ourselves and in the society we have.
Can I just jump in there with we want to take a look at what culture says about what you're saying, and it's just worth reflecting on the viewpoints and asking questions. So you see, and I see, I agree with you, I think it's just self-evident. You see that a man has got to have dominion over his penis in the sense that he has extraordinary creative power. The power to, this is what you told me, it struck me so much I couldn't forget it, that he has the potential to court a woman, to attract her. Then he has the potential to arouse her. Then he has the potential to copulate. And then he has the potential through intercourse to procreate. That is extraordinary creative power, that the capacity to create life. But all the way along, you and I believe this to be true, all the way along, almost every one of those observations is challenged in culture, is challenged in cultural practice.
That's right.
No, sex is not for procreation. Sex is for something else.
They dislocate it from its natural function.
Yeah, it's dissociation.
And that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And largely, I think the wisdom of God was to ensure that the sexual experience would be intensely pleasurable for both members, to celebrate the life that would naturally come forth from it.
Yeah.
So it has theological significance. God attaches the most exquisite pleasure to ejaculation, orgasm for men. Interestingly enough, women don't have to have an orgasm to conceive, but for men it's obligatory. You're unable to, unless you have artificial intervention and have testicular aspiration. But by and large, it's the intense pleasurability of sexual function that is the attraction. I've noticed in the Garden of Eden, the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil was what? It was attractive to the eye, it was good for getting wisdom, and it would make you like God. And this is like the visible hanging fruit, which if you do not acknowledge God's control or responsibility that he confers on you, you're going to run into trouble.
Right, just those
So
points.
that's why I said the badge of a covenant with God is worn by the man on his penis, so that he is constantly reminded of his obligation to ride this wild horse. Fascinating studies that were done in 1984, I think. There's another one done in 2022. It's published in the journal of I think it's a psychology journal, one of the psychology journals by Doyen et al. And it looked at moral choice making when men were aroused and when they weren't. And found that when they were not aroused, they were more rational, they were more concerned about general well-being and health of the others around them, and the women they were with when they were not aroused. When they were aroused, they were subject to the same questions and same the same moral choices were presented before them. And there was a significant difference. They became more self-centered. They became more personal conquest focused. They became more exploitative.
Wow.
So if you were going to destroy a culture, what would you do? You would
Constant
get
state of
their
arousal.
men. You would get their men to be in a constant state of sexual arousal, and you would free them up from their consequences. So you would talk about condoms and birth control and tell women don't worry about it. We can destroy the evidence of the natural consequence of the intercourse, but just have more sex. And we in the West now become a sex-saturated culture. We don't have any theology around self-control because we are our own God. It's more self in control as opposed to self to be controlled.
Hey, thanks for watching. And if you're enjoying this podcast, why don't you sign up for our monthly newsletter where you'll get inside scoops and more information going a little deeper with the information you need. Go to lovequestionspodcast.com and you can sign up there.